We run narratives in our head and keep them playing over and over like a loop. It can be the very thing that keeps us in a cycle of self-destruction. Welcome to the How to Empower, Create, Encourage podcast. You're here with me, your host, Alessandra Guerra. Thank you for joining me today. It's been 2 months since our last episode and so much has happened. Number one in shocking news, I've been terrified to publish my new fantasy novel. I'm just scared of failing. I'm scared because it's my dream to share this world that I've created, and it feels like a very vulnerable thing to do, to let people in, and what if they don't appreciate it or value it the way that I believe it's meant to be valued and appreciated? I open up and then I get hurt. My dad said something to me a couple years ago. Yep, that's how long this fear has been ruling me for. You heard me correctly. Years ago. A couple. Not 2, probably more like 3. Anyways, Ale, if it doesn't go well, write another book. Wow. Is it that easy? I've come to believe yes. Yes, it is. There's something else that has shifted for me too. I want to share this for me. Don't get me wrong. I want people to read this world I've created and feel connected with the characters, and for it to impact them the way great books have impacted and changed me. But whether they like it or not, it's okay, because I like it. And I'm proud of creating an entire world with literally words in my imagination. And if you've been listening since I started, you know that English is not my first language. And it blows my mind just to remember that I literally was 6 years old and we had gotten to Canada and I was sitting in the ESL room and I was like, I am never ever going to understand this. Like, just give up, lady, in my head to the ESL teacher because I couldn't say that in English. I still remember the very first color that I learned in English and the very first sentence that I read in English. I think back to that little girl who wanted to give up. I think back to that little girl who was like, I'm not going to get this. That little girl did not believe, and that little girl gave up hope. And we freaking wrote an entire fantasy novel. We created this entire world in English, and there's going to be a whole series on it. And I honestly so proud of that. No modesty right now, no humility. That is a huge accomplishment. The contrast of, I will never, ever understand this. I can't understand what she's saying. The frustration of going to this class. I dreaded getting pulled out of class to go to ESL class. It's dumb. I don't understand it. Just stop. Just quit. This is frustrating. It's embarrassing. Let's just stop. And I'm so glad my ESL teacher did not let me do that. I'm just so grateful for people like that, for people that keep pushing you to reach your dreams, because I love being able to express myself in English. As you've heard, I mess up a lot and I don't always express myself well, but I like that I can, just with a little bit of practice. Okay, I went on a little bit of a tangent. Let me come back to this. What has shifted for me is that I like it. So whether people like it or not, it's okay, because I'm really proud of this. This acceptance, this shift, this feeling has made me feel like it's okay to finally share this thing that's special to me with anyone who wants me to, whether or not they fully appreciate it. It feels okay to share this now, and that feels really good. That feels really exciting. Second shocking thing that happened is I'm moving again. I'm moving to Calgary, Alberta right now, with potential to maybe move to Langley, British Columbia. I really don't know where I'm going to end up. There's a lot of moving pieces. To be very transparent with you, my heart's a little bit conflicted. I can't see the entire picture just yet. I just see the next step. And right now that's submitting my manuscript to my editor on July 30th and moving to Calgary. The deadlines fall on the exact same date. That's all I can see for now. I wish I could see more. It would be so much more comforting to see so much more than what I see right now. But I see enough to take the next step, and I'm just going to make the best of it. The third and most shocking thing, after 2 years of being terrified of relationships and avoiding them, I fell in love and I committed to a relationship. And I even put that on Facebook. And just to give you a picture of how big of a deal this was for me to commit to this relationship and to put it on Facebook, I've been in a relationship for over 2 years. So the last one before this one, I was in that for over 2 years and I did not put that on Facebook. And I was like, oh no, like what if we break up and then people see? There was a lot of fear revolving around that, but it was something really important to him and it resonated with me too because it was just honest. Like I was in a relationship and it was just kind of bold and just like, this is what it is. And if it fails and then people are like, oh, now she's single. It just felt right to do it at that time. And I'm so happy I did. Well, if you were to check my relationship status on Facebook right now, it says single. I am no longer in that relationship. It was heartbreaking. I know I'm laughing, but it actually was very heartbreaking. This is a coping mechanism. Now I can't stop. Okay. Heartbreak sucks. And I can't emphasize how much this has literally and utterly sucked. But I'm so happy that I broke that narrative that I had for 2 years where I felt relationships were scary and hurtful. I need to avoid them. Don't fall in love. Friend zone everyone. That's what we do, isn't it? We run these narratives in our head and keep them playing over and over like a loop. And sometimes those are the very things that keep us in a cycle of self-destruction where we almost reach our happiness, but not quite. If this is a pattern that you've noticed, then pay attention. There's something there that needs healing. That's what I had been doing for over 2 years, running a narrative that wasn't really helping me to fully embrace my happiness. I was so guarded. That wall kept me from experiencing a fuller happiness that comes when you open up and share your life with someone. I can't even express how much fuller my life felt when I was in that relationship. Being in love is so beautiful. It makes life so beautiful and so much more meaningful. It takes vulnerability because yes, if you allow yourself to open up and get close to someone, you can get hurt. Inevitably, we will hurt each other. That's just what's going to happen. Either intentionally or non-intentionally. Hopefully it's not intentionally, but we're human and we're flawed and we hurt each other sometimes. We let each other down. We miscommunicate. We are hungry or hangry and we have a bad day and we don't speak kindly. Like these things happen. But to completely shut off that part of myself for over 2 years, it was like a part of me was dead and it wasn't fully experiencing life. And so I'm very glad that that part woke up again. And I decided, well, it didn't just wake up. I consciously decided, okay, we're waking up and we're going to take a step and we're going to open up. I also can't describe how much heartbreak sucks and how bad this heartbreak has been. And even so, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for this experience. I'm so grateful I let that wall down because letting it down allowed me to experience something so much more beautiful than I ever could have imagined. Something that I definitely could not have experienced had those walls stayed up. All right, before I get way too emotional here, too late. Okay, back to another point. Let's move on. Okay, I needed to take a minute because that was way too emotional. Okay, take 2. Beep! Because I'm editing my book and moving, I've been thinking about how I can completely change my narrative and my story at any point in time to something that empowers me to create my happiness more fully if I want to. If I want to, I can let go of all the beliefs and narratives in my head that are holding me back or making me feel less deserving or less than. And that's the catch. We choose to do that. No one else can choose for us. And sometimes I've been very stubborn and I've not wanted to let them go. And I've been stuck in almost happiness or not quite happiness or happiness and then unhappiness. That's not why we were created. We weren't created for almost happiness or not quite happiness. God created us for happiness, complete, full, eternal happiness. This time post-breakup has been very raw, very vulnerable, and it's been, I don't even know if I can fully express exactly how it's been. But what I do want to do, or what I know I can do, is that I want to share something very special with you that I've never done in an episode or in real life before. I was at church with my sister. We were setting up for an event that we were volunteering to host, and I saw a piano. I can't play the piano. like at all. And I know some people are like modest and humble. They're like, I really can't play. No, I'm like serious. I cannot play the piano. I'm not very musically inclined whatsoever. I like to sing. I can kind of carry a tune, but that's the extent of what I can do. So I can't play the piano, but I felt a desire to try. And for some unexplainable reason, I felt a desire to record me trying. My sister Deanna, who is very musically talented and is amazing and incredible and wow, listen to her songs. I'll link her stuff in the bio. She sat down and listened to what I was playing, and then she slowly joined in, and we created something together. This was an incredible and beautiful experience. I've never felt so in sync and connected to someone like I have with her in that experience, playing the piano together, where we were just in the moment, and what came out was something so meaningful to me. I want to share it with you because it's literally how my heart feels about leaving Kelowna. This place that has been so full of uncomfortable, beautiful growth. This place where I opened my heart and decided to allow myself to love again, to try, to dream. This expresses everything I'm not able to express with words. I dedicate this piece to anyone who is looking for a new start. I hope you choose to write a new narrative. You can be anything you want to be. You can be happy. You deserve it. You were created for it. I hope listening to this makes you believe that and gives you as much hope and comfort as it gives me. I also dedicate this to the man I fell in love with. You used to listen to my podcast episodes before. I don't know if you will now. But if you ever listen to this, I want you to know our relationship was very meaningful to me. I hope you're well, and I hope you create the life and the love you dream of. Okay, well, without further ado, this is what I want to share with you. If you want to hear the full piece, let me know. This is very close to my heart. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being with me and letting me share this with you. Subscribe, stay tuned, and join our community on Instagram under @empower.create.encourage. There are so many things I want to share with you. Remember, you can create the life, the love, the reality, and the world that you want. I believe in you.
Oh, thank you.